Something happens when you listen to Boards of Canada. It feels so familiar yet unknown, cozy yet liminal. It's what really drew me to them in the beginning. How can something that feels like found footage feel so warm? Either way, it's always a good day when something you love comes back with something new. But there's always that worry that it just won't feel the same. So yes, here we are finally, Boards of Canada's 5th studio album, Inferno. It feels like they should have way more albums at this point, but hey. But what we have actually is something quite refreshing from the duo. It's a mixture of dark songs alongside playful ones, but it still carries that Boards of Canada feel. Just listen to the track Hydrogen, Helium, Lithium, Leviathan. The intro sounds just like Aquarius. Even the beat is quite similar, but it's the tone and effects which makes them stand apart. It sounds like some off-world industry. And that's kind of what makes Inferno really interesting to me. A lot of their older music felt like a faded memory of, I don't know, nature. Whereas this album feels colder, a bit more mechanical, while staying sonically rich and almost cinematic. Take the song You Retreat in Time and Space, it's absolutely stunning. The last half of the track is sonically dense. There's so many bright elements, but instead of sounding so overwhelming, it's actually mixed to perfection. The percussion is usually quite strong, but here they've toned it down. It gives everything a room to breathe, but especially that low, shaky horn. Even so, nothing here lets you sit comfortably for long. There's a tension underneath everything, and it's only now and then that you really get a time to sit and relax. Or is it a false sense of security? I've talked about prophecy at 1420 megahertz on my track review. Another term for it is the hydrogen line, which essentially I think helps them map the universe or something. I don't know fully, I'm a bit of an idiot, alright? But what this track really does, it gives you a glance into what the overall album's story is going to be. The meaning of life, cryptic clues to something profound, hexagons everywhere. And this all comes across in the vocals used throughout the album. Especially in this album, it's used particularly quite heavy compared to older ones. Here it feels more like storytelling rather than like an accompaniment, and it's quite in the foreground, whereas I think before it was used as like a melody or something, you know? Listen to the song Age of Capricorn, reciting a prayer over some like coded messages or something, all happening over some hypnotic piano and lush pads. Or look at the song Father and Son, sounding like something Aphex Twin might make. Sounds like a priest in confession cut up to some Boards of Canada trip hop beat. And there's this grainy undertone throughout, like something sinister is listening in the background. Another standout track which used Chop's vocals is The Word Becomes Flesh. I kind of love this song. You have this woman talking about embryos and then this robotic voice behind her. It's all very thematic with life and death and what comes after, but it's the atmosphere of the song. It's so rich and colourful, and it's really just like an audio delight. And the same could be said for the track The Process. It's really kind of like a masterclass in atmosphere. I've heard arguments that the whole hauntology aesthetic is getting a bit old. It's starting to show its age a bit. And I actually disagree. Things on this album feel a little bit different than usual. The melodies and bars feel somewhat unpredictable here, and very often a little bit darker and kind of gothic. It's a little similar to GeoGaddy in a way, but it feels a bit more intense. Take tracks like Arena Americanada, or the track Acts of Magic with this like anxiety-inducing bass, or take the great song Naraka with this dramatic beat, stunning shakers and these towering pads. And alongside this you have these Hare Krishna chants. It's kind of haunting yet euphoric. Songs here tell a story. Blood in the Labyrinth sounds like a 70s sci-fi adventure. Or All Reasons Depart sounds like you've stumbled upon some ancient discovery that you should have left alone. Change in tone about 3 minutes is kind of incredible. You have this synth work, it's juicy, it's ominous. And then at the end of the album you come to I Saw Through Platonia. Which Platonia, if you didn't know, it is the infinite, timeless, every possibility of the universe possible. Each one complete, frozen in a snapshot called Now. Cryptic and confusing, I know, but what do you expect from a Boards of Canada ender? The song itself, though, is actually kind of minimal. It guides you through with a continuous heartbeat over dreamy pads. And right at the end, these sort of radio signals come in. It's like was this a dream? Is any of this even real? Inferno is a wonderful return for Boards of Canada. It's nice after 13 years to have something that doesn't feel like repetition and something new, but they haven't abandoned that like retro aesthetic beauty that made people fall in love with them in the first place. There's way more narrative weight than I expected, and honestly I wasn't sure what I was expecting. I do get why some people may say it's a bit overdone at this point, but here I think they do add a little bit extra and they kind of take it further than I thought they could. It feels like an evolved version of what they were. Less childhood memory and more like breaking through to another reality. There's so much tension and there's so many moments where things build and the payoff is kind of not instant, but it's satisfying. It's not comfortable, and I think that's what makes it really interesting. So yes, all in all, I really enjoyed this album and I think I'd give it a 9 out of 10. Thank you so much for watching. Were you excited for the new album? What do you think? I bet you loved it. I know you did. But yeah, feel free to drop a like, comment, subscribe, anything you like. I really appreciate all of you. So thank you so much for watching, and hopefully catch you on the next one. I'm planning some like other kind of videos. It's just getting them into motion. I don't have loads of free time, but I'm trying. So yeah, thank you for sticking with me, and see you on the next one.